I'm going to do just a recap and then we're going to dive right in. And I'm going to start the class now, so we're going to go for an hour. If you don't have time to do the whole thing, just come back to it. Oh, geez, how do you stay calm in the chaos? Welcome to my world. Chaotic. Oh, it should be the least of our troubles. Okay, take a comfortable seat. Join your index fingers and thumbs, palms down. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. Today, the focus is going to be on flow. And what do I mean by flow? Well, when we're in the flow, there's a sense of ease where you don't have to effort so much. You don't have to try so hard. There's ease. We want to get back into the flow. So tune into your breath and let yourself be completely absorbed in the flow of the inhalation and the exhalation. Close your eyes, draw inside. With every inhalation, expand, open to the bigger energy. Allow your side ribs to lift. When you inhale, the collarbones rise and widen. When you exhale, let your hips settle. Release any anxiety. Breathe into your heart. Welcome yourself home. You know this space. You know this feeling. It's very easy to be pulled out of our center during times of challenge. And now's the time where we have to decide to come back to the present moment. What pulls us out of the flow is usually fear. There's so much of it right now. When we fear the past, we go into regret. When we fear the future, we go into anxiety. Come into the flow, the present, the here and now. Deep in the breath. Allow your armpits to rise and dome. Head of the arm bones back. Lift your throat. Take your palate back. And lift the back of the occiput up. Imagine 3 globes of light now, one in the palate, one in the heart, and one in the pelvis. Breathe into these globes. And then begin to align the palate over the pelvis. May we bring into harmony our mind, our body, and our heart. With each inhalation, enter more deeply into the flow. Each exhalation, let go and surrender. What is surrender? Acceptance of what is. The release of trying to change the unchangeable. To be here and now with what is. I'm not saying you have to like it. I'm saying let go of resistance. Because it is this resistance that keeps pulling us into habitual patterns. Then breathe into your heart and set an intention for yourself for the next hour to take a break from everything else, to come back into the flow, into the ease, and into the presence of all these other great beings who are practicing with you. Then bring your palms together in front. Let's join our hearts and voices with the sound of Om. Namaste. Okay, please come up to a standing position. Come to the front of your mat, feet parallel, second toe lines parallel. Feet hip distance apart. Bring your palms in front. Stand tall. Open to your breath again. Let's open to the bigger energy. And then engage. Hug your skin to the muscles and muscles to the bones. Claw your finger pads and roots of the fingers. Lift your toes and spread them. Like a river, if you want the river to flow well, you need to have strong banks, strong boundaries. So you hug in, create healthy self-boundaries now. Tune into your heart, thighs back, tailbone in. Notice how the low belly will pull in and up. Inhale, stretch your arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, bow. Root your feet down, and then inhale, sweep your arms out to the side. Find the flow of movement and breath. Exhale, arms down. Let the breath lead and you follow. So the breath is just out in front of your movement. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, bow. Inhale, reach your feet down, sweep your arms out to the side, come up. Exhale, release. Keep it slow and steady. No need to rush. This is your hour. Exhale, come back into your heart, into your body. Harmonious flow between body, mind, heart. Reach your feet, sweep your arms out to the side, come all the way up. Reach up, look up. Exhale, release. And one more. Go at your own pace. When you're in the flow, you're in the stream of grace. Even when there's chaos on the outside, you find your way back to the calm on the inside. Reach your feet, sweep your arms out to the side. We are unlimited beings. Be in multiple places at the same time. Today, we choose to flow. One more time, come up. Sweep your arms out to the side. This time, fold forward. Inhale, heart halfway. Exhale, right foot back, lunge. Soften the upper back. Feel the stretch. Use your breath. Every time you think of your breath, you're coming back into your center. Breath dissolves fear. The prana dissolves. The light dissolves darkness and all shadiness. You hug. And then lift your hands. Fingers are an inch or so off the floor. Pan for gold. Bring the hands to the inside of the left foot. Slowly to the outside. To the inside. This increases your balance. It also helps you firm up the riverbanks. Now your muscles are activated and working. Keep the activation. Bring your hands down. Step your back foot forward a couple of inches. Make your left leg straight. Come up onto your left heel. Root the heel down and drag isometrically back. The base of your shin goes back. Take your right hip more forward. Left hip back, and then bow. Inhale, lift your heart, foot down. Exhale, bend the left knee. Step back, downward facing dog pose. Alternately, pedal your heels. You're in a paddle boat. On the flow, go with the current of the river, current of the breath. Bend both knees, lift your sitting bones way up, get a low back curve. Instead of just collapsing your arms down, create the boundary. Claw, pads, and roots in the hands. Lift your armpits up, especially inner armpits. With your armpits lifted, surrender the heart. Just let it sink 2, 3, 4 inches. Bring your ears in line with your arms, and then push from your heart down through your hands. Lengthen from your heart up through your back. Push from your heart down through your hands. Lengthen from your heart up through your back. Push from your heart down through your hands. Lengthen from your heart up through your back. Push from your heart down through your hands. Lengthen from your heart up through your back. down through your hips and legs. Root the base of your shins back. And breathe. Exhale, right foot forward. Lift your hands, and we're going to pan for gold. Keep all of your muscles engaged. Lightly touch your fingertips. Breathe. Melt the upper back. Be in the flow. Lift your back thigh a little higher. Release the front hip lower. And then step the back foot forward a couple inches. Right leg straight, roll to the heel, root the heel, and drag back isometrically. Bring your right foot back down to the floor. Try to go to the edge of the stretch and then breathe into it. When you feel the edge, that's your boundary. In Ashaya yoga, we want to expand the boundaries. We go to the boundary and then expand. We don't fight with it. We open to it. Then embrace it. Align it. And then expand. So left hip forward, right hip back. Fold. Exhale, bend the knee, step back, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Always okay to keep your knees down. Keep the head of your arm bones at the level of your elbows. Exhale down. Exhale down. There we go. Point your toes back. Claw your hands, pull your palms back to come up. Palms back to come up. So to access flow, more boundary. Too much boundary, the river stops flowing. Lift your side ribs, head of the arm bones back. Soften. Hug your legs to the middle. Thighs back, tailbone in. Come up, cobra. Exhale down. Release back into downward dog pose. Inhale, right leg up. Lift your right leg from the inner thigh, the inner ankle. And once you have the inner thigh up, your hips will square. Press the base of your left shin back. Stretch. Then bend your right knee, lift your leg up, out to the side. Lift your head, look over your left shoulder. Stretch. Stay in the flow. Exhale, right leg forward. Come up now, hands to hips. Knees over the ankle. Inhale, stretch up. Lift your left thigh a little bit higher, tailbone in. Arch back. Grab hold of your left wrist, and then crescent arc to the right. Bow your ribs in a bit, and breathe. Inhale, stretch up. Left hand to left thigh, push your thigh up into your hand. Arch back more. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, sweep down to the floor. Step back down, facing dog pose. Bend your knees a bit, lift your sitting bones more. Rest in downward dog pose. Even in the challenge, find the flow. What's beautiful about the flowing energy is that it is able to move around obstacles like water. Inhale, left leg up. Lift the inner thigh. Root the base of your right shin back. And then bend your left knee up and over. Lift your head, look over your right shoulder at your foot. Full deep breaths. So this river might be have a little more white water than you're used to, but at least I'm taking your mind off things. Root the base of your right shin back. Surf the waves. Exhale. Left foot forward. Hands to hips. Breathe. Relax. Flow. Hug to the midline. Scissor your legs. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Right thigh back, tailbone in, arch back. Crescent. Hold your right wrist and crescent to the left. Bow your ribs a little bit more for a deeper stretch. It's going to work the psoas and the quadratus lumborum in the low back. Inhale up. Right hand to the right thigh. Press your thigh up into the hand. Now as you do that, press your left shin forward. And from your pelvis, push your right heel back. From your pelvis, left shin forward, right heel back. Right heel, left shin. Enjoy the stretch. Keeping all of that, stretch your right arm. Exhale, sweep your arms out to the side. Come down. Plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Hold. Thighs back, tailbone in. Hold. Exhale down. Inhale, separate your hands. Come onto eagle talons and do cobra with elbows wide. This is going to create a lot of stretch and flow in the spine. So to balance it, hug your legs. Hug your shins toward the middle. Stay strong. Head of the arm bones back. Now, see if you can access the bottom tips of your shoulder blades and curl the bottom tips into the back of your heart. Lift your throat. Palate back. Occiput up. Palate back. Occiput up. Exhale. Flow. Press back. Downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale. Lunge. Walk your hands left. Spin your left foot square to the back edge of your mat. Thighs back. Tail in. And then come to the inside of your right foot. You can use a block here for your hand. Left hand to your hip. Begin to arch back over your leg. You have to pull your tailbone in more. Tailbone in. Right hip crease back. Create the boundary. And then stretch your left arm over the ear, palm down. Turn your left arm so that your thumb turns up, your palm faces behind you. Pull your inner left armpit back more. And enjoy the stretch. Exhale, spin down to the floor. Left knee comes down. Hands up on the right leg. Take your left elbow up and cross. Palms together, head of the arm bones back. Put your elbow into your knee. Exhale, release. Step back, down for dog. Take very deep breaths here. We want to learn how to recover in downward dog. Without totally relaxing, you have to work a little bit. But we want to learn how to get our breath back even while working. Left leg up. Exhale. Lunge. Turn your right foot all the way to the right. I'm going to turn my back to you. Walk your hands over to the right. Thighs back, tailbone in. And then bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot, shoulder against the knee, squeeze. Arch back. Take your right arm up and over, turn your palm up. Thumb facing up. Exhale, spin down to the floor. Right knee down, both hands on the left leg. And the right elbow comes across, palms in front, head of the arm bones back. So create the riverbank with your elbow against your knee. You're going to push your knee into the elbow, elbow into the knee. That's going to widen your hips. Then draw your tailbone in. There's more flow when there's more boundary. I'm talking healthy self-boundaries. We need to learn to move out of rigidity, and what creates rigidity is fear. So from rigidity, we move towards resiliency, and that's more in line with human nature. We are resilient beings. We can bounce back. Exhale, release, plank. Inhale, slowly come down, chaturanga. All the way down. Now, inhale, cobra. Turn to your right, but crawl your right knee forward. Flex your left foot. Salamander pose, Kuryasana. And push your left foot back, left ribs forward. Exhale down. Inhale, cobra. Look over your left shoulder. Crawl your left knee forward. Flex your right foot and push the right foot back. Right ribs forward. Full deep breaths. Exhale, release. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, slowly come down. Come onto your forearms, elbows underneath your shoulders, palms flat. And inhale, lift. Do thighs back, tailbone in, tongue your core. And breathe. Separate your feet to the edges of your mat. Don't let your hips sink down. Keep your hips up. And then lift your right foot. Hold. Right foot down, lift your left. Keep your shoulders and hips as stationary as possible. Right side. Left side. Left foot. And lift both feet. Okay, turn in a circle. See, I can't hear you laugh, so I just have to laugh my own jokes. And circle in the opposite direction. Keep your ribs in. Breathe. And exhale down. Come back to child's pose. Big toes touch, knees wide. I did hear that side though. See if you can let your breath flow uncontrolled. So let it gush in and out. Surrendering into the flow is your capacity to be with what is and accept what is. The next step is to embrace what is. And then be resourceful. We are resourceful beings. Resourcefulness is a feature of yoga. It's what tells us what to do next. To be smart, to serve. Inhale, come up, tabletop. Curl your toes under, walk your knees back a couple inches, downward dog. Exhale, right foot forward. Spin to the left, hands on hips, come to warrior two. Squeeze your legs to the middle, stretch your arms up. Turn your palms up, head of the arm bones back. Move your thigh bones back, tailbone in. Keeping your shoulder blades now strong on your back. Create the riverbank. The shoulder blades have to hug. Then turn your palms down and from your heart push through your fingers. Let your ribs expand with the breath. Turn your head, look out over your right fingers. Envision a future of harmony, body, mind, heart, a future of flow. Then turn your right palm up and arc into reverse warrior two. Left hand on left thigh. Then inhale, come back to warrior two. Stretch your right leg straight. Hug to the middle. Exhale, trikonasana. Hinge on your right hip. Come down into the pose. For tight hips, tight hamstrings, you're going to walk your right hand all the way to the left. Stick your butt way back. Instead of sandwich your legs between two planes of glass, please shatter the glass. Just stick your butt back. That's the best you can do for your spine. It's so good. And then draw your tailbone in. Walk your right hand to the outside on the floor, eagle talons, or onto blocks. Lift your belly and heart up. Stretch your left arm. And then, like a star that draws in from the periphery to core, that's what generates light. You pull in, you hug in to create the healthy self-boundary. And then from the core of your star, the pelvis, radiate light out. Take your left arm over your ear, thumb up. Radiate more light, please. Yep. Your legs are like beams of light, cords of light from the star. The spine, a cord of light, a laser of light. Stretch. Exhale, spin down to the floor, Parsvottanasana. Step your back foot in a little bit and turn your left foot in more. Square your hips to the front. Now stay with me. Turn your back foot all the way out to the right, so you're on the blade of the little toe edge of your foot. Your left foot, little toe edge of your left foot. And your foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Scissor your legs down. And try to keep your tongue inside your mouth. Oh. If you're still with me, let's keep going. I call this bus stop yoga. Just get off at your stop, please. Walk your hands around to the right. Scissor. Moving toward Ashvatasana, banyan tree pose. Scissor your legs so much that you can then place your hands on your ankles. Back shin, front ankle. Hold. Exhale, release. Downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, lunge. Come into warrior two. Spin your right foot to the back edge of your mat. I know my back's to you. I'm just going to give you a different view. Bend your left knee so that the knee is in line with the ankle. Hug your legs, thighs back, tailbone in. Stretch your arms. Palms up, shoulder blades firm. Keeping the shoulder blades hugged, turn your palms down, and from your heart, push out through your fingers. From your pelvis, down through your feet, up through your spine. Avoid this. This is going into the future. Avoid this. Stuck in the past. Vertical. Present. Reverse warrior 2. Each breath infused with the flow. I'm in the flow. I'm open to the current of grace. I'm open to the higher vibrations that bring me into ease. Flow is ease. Inhale, warrior 2. Left leg straight. Hinge from your left hip. Come down. Right hand to your hip. Left hand to the outside of the left shin. And remember, you can go all the way to the right, then you stick your butt back, then draw your tailbone in. And on eagle talons or blocks. Belly in, heart up toward the sky, stretch your left arm. See if you can find an easeful, flowing position of your head. The easiest is look down. If your neck is aligned, take your palate back, occiput up. You could look straight out to the side. Take your armpits back, shoulder blades stay strong, and that's going to allow you full freedom of the neck. So you flow, turn your gaze up past the right thumb, and try to turn your head leading with your left eye. Left eye. Very good. And then become a star in your own universe. Pull from the periphery to your core. From the core of the star, radiate out in all directions. Let's radiate ease, flow, grace. Let's radiate surrender. Ultimately, we radiate peace, inner peace, joy, freedom. Stretch your right arm over the ear, turn your right thumb up. Stretch more, radiate more. Legs, chords of the star. Spine, big giant laser of the star. Exhale, sweep down to the floor. Shorten your stance, back foot's turned in. Scissor your legs. So this is the basic pose. You can just hang out here and be in your flow. Those that want to go into a little more light water, turn your right foot all the way to the left until the blade of the little toe edge of your left foot's on the floor, and you drag it forward isometrically. Drag the front foot back. And breathe. Resistance in the body is solidified fear. So make that body-mind connection, and you go to your edge and then soften. We go through challenges by embracing them, not avoiding them. Walk your hands to the outside, around to the left if you can. And then if you want to join me, Shavasana, banyan tree pose. Carefully place one hand on an ankle and the other hand on the back knee or shin. And then pray. Exhale, release, touch the floor, step back, plank, hold. Downward dog. Exhale, right knee forward, pigeon. Square your left hip to the front. Keep your back toes curled under. We create a boundary in the back shin to be able to widen the back thigh. So if I were just like lazy with this back foot and I let the heel just kind of pour out this way, leaking power. But as I true up the back foot so it's perpendicular, the shin hugs, and now I can widen my left thigh. And bend the back knee, reach back, hold the foot, And spread your toes, turn your foot out a little bit, and then gradually bring your heel towards your hip. Drag the base of your thigh forward, the thigh moves back, then draw your tailbone in. Continue the dragging action of the back leg. You have to have the shoulder mobility, but try to get your elbow bent and perpendicular. Hold here. For those that want a deeper stretch, put your right hand on your right thigh. You can even stretch your right arm up in the air. Keep your breath flowing. Exhale, release, downward dog. Inhale, left knee forward toward the left hand. Square your hips, right heel perpendicular, hug your shins, widen your thighs. Stronger and steeper the riverbanks of the river, swifter the flow. We want an unimpeded flow. Use the breath, let the breath connect you with grace, you with the universal. Then walk your hands around to the right, bend your right knee, grab the foot and bring your heel towards your hip. With the base of your right thigh, tailbone in. Drag the back knee slightly forward, isometrically. That takes the top of your thigh bone back. Then you've got to add the tailbone, draw your tailbone down, the low belly will pull in. Now you're really working your muscles here. You're developing your core even as you soften and surrender. It's totally a win-win. The body needs stress in a way to get stronger. The body only responds to the demands you place on it. So we demand all muscles activate at the same time, evenly, equally. The mind needs more space. It needs to release more, become non-rigid. To go beyond the habit of fear, you have to be non-rigid. And then you melt into the heart where there's softness, there's surrender. Place your left hand on the left leg for those who can. From your pelvis, root down, and from your pelvis, lift your spine. Exhale, release. Come down to all fours, come down onto your belly. Bend both knees. Reach back for your feet. Hold at the juncture of the foot and ankle. Knees hip distance. And then turn your feet out slightly, spread your toes, especially the fifth toe, which is the earth toe. Inner rotate thighs. Draw your tailbone down. And then inhale, come on. Press your ankles back into your hands. Lift your side ribs, head of the arm bones back. Melt the heart forward. Power back, occiput up. Hold. From your pelvis now, push through your knees. Your femurs get long. Back bends require long femurs. You have to push out from where the epicenter of the stretch is. It's in the low back. The vertebrae get very crowded. But with all these actions, you bring space so that there's more flow. Pain is lack of flow. Mild, tolerable discomfort, the flow is increasing. Exhale. Release. Make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to the side. Breathe. Now let the flow just wash over you. Invite it in with your breath. And inhale, come up. Come on your back. Setubandha Sarvangasana. Bend your knees, feet flat, elbows, palms parallel. Elbows in towards your ribs. Lift your sides, head of the arm bones back. You kind of scoop into the back of your heart with your shoulder blades. So your heart lifts a little bit. I want to bring the boundary behind the heart in a way, because that body is all about universal, is you employ our deeper spirituality. You embrace that. And that opens our individuality. It opens the front. And all of our fears are stored in our individual nature. The universe doesn't have fear. It's the contracted limitation. It's just, fear is just love that hasn't been brought into consciousness. If everything is love, then fear is love not yet brought into consciousness. So you squeeze the shoulder blades, the heart pops, just lifts. Head of the arm bones back, lift your throat. And then turn your thighs in, increase a low back curve, tailbone in, and lift your hips. So easy. From your feet, pull into your palate. Drag your heels back isometrically. Shoulder blades hug into the back of the heart. Lift your heart toward the chin. And then from your palate, root the head and extend your femurs long. Remember, femurs stay long in back bends. And feel the ebb and flow of energy flowing from periphery to core, and then from core back out to periphery. We hug in, embrace ourselves, come back into our center, find the flow, and then extend it out to others. Bridge. What is this bridge? Bridge from our individual, limited, cramped nature to our universal, free flow nature of spirit. The breath is the bridge. Breathe in more freedom, lift your heart. Breathe out more flow. Exhale down, rest, enjoy, bask. Now we're going to do Urdhva Dhanurasana for those who can. For those who can or don't want to, you can repeat the back bend, and then we'll do a couple poses to cool down, then Shavasana. Urdhva Dhanurasana, full back bend, people. Place your hands under your shoulders, armpits back, hips up, chest up. Come to the top of your head, pause. Armpits back, index fingers parallel, and go up. Claw your finger pads. Pull your armpits back. Walk in and push your heart forward. You can even come up onto your toes. Try to look at your fingertips once you're up. For those that want just a little more workout, come down onto your head lightly and then go back up. To your head, go back up. Head, up, head, up, head, up. Up and hold. Exhale, come all the way down. Rest. That's a good one for releasing obstacles to the flow. Come sit now. Legs wide, Upavista Konasana. Manually turn your thigh bones in. Use both hands. Root the sitting bones down. Groins go way back. Second toe line is like Tadasana, straight up and down. Exhale, fold. In our forward bends now, keep the back bend as you go into the forward bend. Back bend. up on eagle talons. Side ribs are long, head of the arm bones back. The peripheral sides of your torso go back. The core goes forward. So that's the waistline's back, outer hip creases back, armpits back, sides of the throat back, corners of the eyes back. The heart goes forward, heart goes forward. And then from your pelvis, push your sitting bones. Keep your sitting bones down on the floor. For those that can come all the way down, hold your toes. You're gonna keep going. There's a little zone right here. Then inhale, come up, go to your right, and hold the outer right shin with your left hand. Your right fingers are on the floor, and fold. Keep your right ribs lifted, waistline, don't let it collapse. Scissor your legs, ankles hug to the middle. Inhale, come up. Exhale, take it to the left. The form in Ashaya Yoga repeats. Once you learn the basic techniques, you repeat them in every pose. So notice how I'm pulling on the shin with my right hand, and that shin's in. At the same time, I'm trying to widen the thighs. So shins and thighs wide is one of the techniques that we'll see in each pose. Now as your heart goes more and more toward your left foot, widen your right thigh away from you. Turn it in and widen it. Don't let your right sitting bone come off the floor. You gotta stay anchored. It's like the roots of a plant. Plants do not like to have their roots come out of the ground. So you gotta keep your roots down. And then flow with your heart. I allow myself to flow with what is. I easily and effortlessly flow with change. Inhale, slowly come up, hold under the knees. Help yourself bend your knees, soles of the feet together. Pull from your feet all the way through your knees and thighs into your pelvis. Hands behind, lift your sitting bones. Stick your butt way back. Try to come more to the inner edge of your sitting bones. Then you can either keep your hands back or hold your feet. Curl your toes back. Put the four corners of the feet touch. Heels off the floor. And then from your pelvis, push straight out through your knees. Flow in and out. And then bring your knees up. Fold your left leg under. Cross your right foot over. Hold the right knee with both hands. We're going to lean way over to the left. And then aim your right sitting bone to the right. Anchor your right sitting bone. Okay. Then right hand behind, inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, release, switch. In this first part, as you hold the left knee, we're going to lean right and then aim the left sitting bone toward the floor. It's a stretch. You gotta release the left sitting bone more and more. And then right where it's tight in the hip joint, bring some breath. See if you can bring flow to an area of tension in your body. They say this is a stealthy virus. It doesn't allow, it's asymptomatic, so it can spread and you don't even know it. As yogis and as humans, we need to become stealthier than the virus, which means we know how to flow, we know how to release. Stress is one of the things that depresses the immune system. So we are de-stressing ourselves in the practice, strengthening our immune system, fighting the virus with consciousness. Otherwise you become the victim of the virus, and we want to become victorious. I renamed it, instead of COVID-19, I renamed it Covert-19. Then bring the hip down, left hand behind. Cross the elbow over, lift your heart, inhale. Exhale, twist. Head of the arm bones back. And inhale, in the flow, come back to center. Come lie on your back. For Shavasana, draw your knees into your chest. Stretch your legs out. Lengthen your sides, head of the arm bones back, palms up. Relax your legs and your feet. Allow all of your muscles to release and melt away from the bones. And allow your bones to descend deeper into the earth. Allow the breath to flow in the space between the muscles and the bones. You open up a channel throughout your entire body. So that there's no way that stress can get in, because you have filled your body with flow. Then breathe in a warm river of relaxation from the feet up through the shins and knees and thighs. And imagine you breathe in a pool of liquid light flow, forming a pool of light in the pelvis, filling every space in your body with flow, with an immune system that is 100% strong, healthy, robust. And let this light overcome you like a river that floods up through your spine, through your belly, pours in to the cavern of your heart, to the shoulders, like tributaries down the arms, into your palms, forming crystal pools of light in the palms, brimming with radiance. Release the root of your tongue. Relax your jaw, your lips, your cheeks, your teeth. Then release your palate, let it slide towards the back of the mouth. Sinuses open up. This flow of light starts to permeate all the spaces of your head, your skull, and the brain, central nervous system of your organism. Allow the entire body to release. And let yourself be consumed in the flow. wholeness, resiliency, resourcefulness, all the universal powers are yours. Harmony of head, heart, body. Rest now. A few moments in silence. Be in the flow. Gently become aware. Explore the stillness, that inner space of silence. Don't be in a rush to come out of it. Receive the blessing of grace in the form of your breath. And breathe the flow down to your fingers and your toes. If you're ready to return, begin to move your fingers and toes. And if you wish to stay for a while, you're more than welcome to stay there while I end the class. Those who wish to end now, slowly bend your knees, roll to the right side, and gradually come up to a seated position. Sit with your spine in the vertical axis. And once you're sitting, close your eyes. Please find the flow of your breath again. Like how we started, this is how we finish. Remember, flow is synonymous with ease. When you're struggling, when you're resisting, when you're not accepting, when you're in a state of fear, flow has nowhere to go. It shrivels up. So at least for 1 hour a day, come to your practice, get back into the flow. The flow is going to give you the strength of body, the clarity of mind to make the best It's been such a delight for me to share this time with you. And it's a blessing from my heart to your heart. That we're all in this together. May we support each other. This is my way of reaching out to each of you with so much love. Bring your palms together in front. Send light to each other and to all beings everywhere. To the flow. Take a breath. Namaste.